On my Microheli swash plate for my Blade Nano CPX. So if you guys haven't seen my other video, I was having a little bit of problems when I was installing the anti-rotation bracket. The problem was the bracket was hitting the ball, but now I've found a solution and now the problem is fixed. So here's my fix for you guys out there who wants to use the swash plate with the optional anti-rotation bracket. So pretty much you just need one of those flat files, those flat metal files. You can find them at the hobby shop or even at the arts and crafts sections at your local arts and crafts store. So pretty much take it and just file about 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter on the back of the frame to give you guys a better shot. The back side of this frame where the carbon fiber bracket fits is you file it back about 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter, and that will allow, you can see here, the bracket to have about 1 to 1.5 millimeter clearance on between the bracket and the ball on the swash plate, which is what you want, because if not, it'll bind and you just get poor flight performance. Another thing that I did was I used hot glue as a shim. Now you guys can use CA, whatever you guys want, but I think hot glue is better because it's easily removable in the future if you want to not use the anti-rotation bracket and instead use a pin and use the stock bracket. Whatever you guys want to do, but I use hot glue. And pretty much to give you guys an example, you guys can't really see on the helicopter itself, but the stock mount mounts pretty much straight. When I use hot glue on the frame area where the top of the aluminum mount, so now it's like a shim and it kind of leans back a tad bit, which gives it more of a clearance up here. So, and once again, you want to take your time, sound the frame down, make sure you don't have too much of a gap, because when you give cyclic, instead of 0, you give a little bit of elevator. You don't want the pin to be too short and pop off when you're flying it, but take your time. It took me about 30 minutes, which is kind of long for me, but I just took my time once again and got everything nice and perfect. Now, a tip for you guys: if you're planning to run the Microheli swash plate, if you do not use the stock O-rings that comes on the plastic swash plate. Reason why is because the design is a little bit different on the Microheli. So when you use the O-ring on here, it just pushes the link out way too much. And when you have 3 O-rings on the swash plate, it just causes so much binding. So an example, without me flying the Nano right now, is pretty much when you're flying it, it wants to just wander real slow, so it doesn't have that locked in feel. Reason why is because these are really small servos, so don't expect the best performance out of it. But a way to get better control out of it is to try to eliminate as much slop and binding as you can. And if you do not use those O-rings, it flies way better. Because before, I just put the O-rings on there and it flew kind of horrible in my opinion. It flew worse than stock, even though my stock swash plate did have a lot of binding on there. But I pinpointed the problem of why it was flying so poorly with the Microheli swash plate was the O-rings. Now, one thing I did use an O-ring or a rubber grommet was the upper section of the swash plate for the ball, and it's between the ball and the one-piece link right there, is to take a rubber or use the included canopy grommets that you get with your Nano and cut off a very small section of that grommet and just put it on between the ball and that one link. Pretty much what that does is it eliminates that wobble around 0 pitch. So now my swash plate flies very good. Before, I was kind of disappointed with the fit and the performance, but after playing around, I found the best solution and the correct way to use this Microheli swash. So, I hope you guys found this information